19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Ezekiel Elliott, fresh off 100 yards a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Dallas Cowboys taking on the Detroit Lions. With that, let's head inside to Ford Field in Detroit. We're standing by are the two men who will bring you this one, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as here guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And it's the defense that's really the star of the show. A terrific game last week. They got a shutout on the road. And that's something that doesn't happen very often nowadays.
Meanwhile, for the visitors here, the Cowboys, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. And he will go down, a Cowboys sack. Tyrone Crawford in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Now Stafford. This one complete to Theo Riddick. They needed 18 yards, and that's exactly what they got. And by the nose of the football, it's a first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Luke Wilson, was the target, and it'll bring up third down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Here's Stafford. The completion to Riddle. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game too. A couple of first downs has the football position at the 43 as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford over the middle, and it's incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. On 2nd and 10, Stafford completing it here to Marvin Jones. Touchdown, Detroit. Marvin Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it, get the football to start the game and score.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Extra point good by Prater, and it's now a 7-0 game. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And here's a look at their leader, standing 6'4".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off. They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Back to throw. He's got the connection to Cole Beasley. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
A first down carry by Elliott. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 2 trips to the end zone and well past 100 yards.
And going back and watching the film, we saw every kind of run from him, didn't we? We saw some power. We saw finesse. We saw speed. And what I love the most, he finished each and every run.
Here we go now. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Now back to throw. And Beasley's got it. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball...
And got his man complete! And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
You see what Riddick was able to do in last week's ball game. 23 carries, 82 yards.
And I'm eager to see how they deploy him in this game. Last week, a heavy workload. Do they decide to bring that down a little bit and try and keep him fresh? Or do they say, guess what? He's locked in. Keep handing him the football.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They go play action here on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Sean Lee coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
An 8-yard gain, so that gets them halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And that's complete to Croft. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Back to throw, Stafford. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. In for the score. And the Lions are in for 6.
All drives that result in points hurt a defense, But when they are the sustained variety, play after play, and they just can't get off the field and stop them, that can be demoralizing.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They'll look to throw here. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one goes for 24 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. The give is to Elliott. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. Back to throw here. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. He may try and run for this. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
He finds Riddick complete, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware, a ball may come your way.
The Lions on 3rd down. A perfect 4 for 4 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Out of the gun. Staff. It's caught. Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, Stafford here. And Jones has it over the middle. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks, because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the Alabama man, Drake Kirkpatrick.
Well, Brandon, this is a former first-round pick, and he's been a bit of a disappointment in his career up till now, but he's still got room to grow. And this is an excellent play right here to come away with the football.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And they got across the 50 last time, but fumbled and turned it over, so they'll be looking to have a short-term memory here, Mr. Davis.
Not only a short-term memory, but a whole lot better ball security. Because if they take care of the ball, continue to move it, their chances of scoring some points, they've got to feel pretty good about. They thought they had things moving in the right direction last time. Fumbles, they don't just affect you on offense, they affect your overall team, because now your defense has to make that stand up.
Stafford now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Lions linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
They expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. On second down, here's Stafford. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Keep in mind, he had the 3-interception game last week, so we requested to talk with him this week. He was all smiles. He's still all smile.
Yeah, we didn't jinx him at all, did we?
No.
Because ordinarily that happens. Things fall off, but not in this case. I think a lot of it goes back to his technique, his ability to see the quarterback throw the ball.
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Well, this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll drop to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on fourth down.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll throw now on the final play. And it is incomplete. So we've hit halftime all. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. So, Charles, tie game here. What are your keys as we continue to play this second half?
I know people think it's always trite when you say the same things over and over, but they're tried and true in the game of football. Who's going to block better? Who's going to tackle better? In this case, to me, it's turnovers. You've got to take care of the football in order to win the game.
And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They go Elliott again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a third down. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Spinning away. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on third down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Here we go now.
And they'll run it here. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one hauled in by Tavon Austin. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to open.
And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Cowboys have broken the tie. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams sprint to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Play action. Stafford finds Roberts left side. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And the grab by Croft. And now running right through it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that one results in 35 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
Throwing is Stafford. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Stafford looks to throw again. Looking for Tate, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
All right, work with me, partner. This is a classic understatement. Their execution has been very poor. Last 3 drives, 2 interceptions and a fumble. Winning football? We're not seeing it right now.
Let's go.
They'll start the drive with Elliott. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here we go now.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On the return, it's Tate. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Lions will take over. And Detroit getting set to go now. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. A good way there to have him bounce back from the interception last drive. Something underneath, a little bit of rhythm going.
I know the best ones in the league have supreme confidence, but every now and then you need a little booster, don't you? This is their way of protecting him and bringing him back, and then they'll turn him loose later, I would think.
63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter.
Monday.
On first down, it's Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. He's having a nice game through the air. His decision-making's been really good. Solid there again. Just seeing nothing downfield, goes underneath. Nice game.
How about the patience? Because when you're having a big game through the air, you're looking for those chunk plays, those big ones downfield. Instead, as you noted, takes the check down, dumps it off, gains good yardage anyway. Really well executed. Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Another costly turnover, their 2nd of this second half. And earlier when I asked you your keys to the second half, you said, hey, it may be trite, but I think it's turnovers. That's coming to fruition.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Following the fumble recovery, Stafford over the middle, complete to Tate. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, Something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
A tough run gets him just inside the 10 to the 9, but no further. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do?
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the linebacker, Sean Lee. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
The tackle made there by Jared Davis. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first. Now they'll run it on the toss. Look at the spin.
Balance.
And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Again to Elliott. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Tackle made there by Caleb Brantley. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, Elliott. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. This is Elliott. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. 2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. And he's got this down to the 35. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
They'll run with Elliott. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. On second down, Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. I think this defense tired of seeing him run the football, and this D-line probably getting sick of the O-line as well.
And as I'm watching this, I'm thinking about a conversation I had with Adam Gase, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins in the offseason. He told me that he asked his running backs each week for their favorite runs. Give me your 3 top runs. And right now, you're seeing a guy that's probably using his top runs to great advantage in this game.
He is in a zone. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
And that's the type of run that they're looking for because they'll need to continue to rely on him to move the sticks in this tight game in order to preserve this lead.
Now Elliott, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Well, that was absolutely ideal for them, wasn't it? Trying to salt this game away. I think one of my kids just graduated in the amount of time they had the football. That was absolutely impressive.
Everybody wants those salt-away-the-game drives. What makes them successful?
Well, when you're able to mix run-pass, when you're able to control the football and stay ahead of the chains, I'm using every cliche I know, but that's how you get it done because you're not taking negative plays, and that way you're able to run what you want to run when you get a chance to call it.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Elsewhere, they're on to the 4th quarter at MetLife Stadium. And it was the Redskins that came away victorious there. Alex Smith, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. The Lions need to move. They're hustling to the line now. And there's the spike. It stops the clock at 22 seconds remaining. The Lions on 3rd down. No problems to this point. A perfect 5 for 5. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. From the gun, here's Stafford. And he'll find Galladay. That's complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And now he stops it with a spike at 8 seconds. And it's incomplete. So now only 7 seconds remain.
On the ball, on the ball. Come on, deep set, waiting.
Again, it's Stafford. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jeff Heath. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Well, Charles, he's thrown 5 picks in a game before, and right now, after that one, he's standing on number 4.
And right now, your defensive coordinator is asking the offensive coordinator, can you do anything to slow this down? Because my guys have to keep running back out on the field. So play calling may come into it a little bit, maybe run the ball a little bit more. But a lot of it depends on the scoreboard. They may have to keep throwing it.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for Dallas, they continue to roll as the win gets them to 12-2 on the year. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Buffalo Bills. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they've plummeted now to 3-11. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.
Hey, I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch stay at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating